Oh, hello. Sorry, no, I've got, that game does that to me because it was such an amazing splendor. Ocarina of Time for the Nintendo 64. Even though that game's really old right now, it's considered nostalgia and retro to me. It still holds up better than most games today. So, the podcast plans. I've got plans to make my own video gaming podcast. I've got rules and principles and a lot of crazy things to go along with it, but never mind. Let's go through a few things, right? Now, as a founding member of the podcast, obviously I'm going to be one of the people who are going to be in charge, hosting it, one of the hosts. Now, I'm going to be introducing, fellow YouTubers. I don't care if they're big, I said big, or small. I don't care about their video quality. They could record with a high-tense telescope full of HD virtual vision, or recording with a calculator with a little scope pointing through. Fact is, if you're a regular uploader and you're a video gamer and you've got a really good interest in video games and a good passion for them, you might be featured as a guest. Like I said, this goes in to show you that I don't care if you've got 10 billion subscribers or at least one. Right? If you want to be a guest on the podcast, you just got to be a regular YouTuber. That's one of the rules. Second is, as a founding member, and most of you feel comfortable around me and my point of view towards games. So, this is specifically those of you that are going to help me start this, because I've got a few people in mind. What it is, to us members, when you want to express your opinion on games, you want to get anything off your hairy man chest, or those of you that are female ladies, you want to get anything off your wonderful chest, you don't have to worry about how I'm going to feel about you. I'm not going to think of you differently. I have a really good approach to gaming itself. I couldn't care less what anyone says about gaming. It will not affect me in any way, shape or form. Right? If you want to give a game too much praise, that's fine. You want to hate a game you want to stab it off, shoot it off somewhere, that's fine. I'm not going to view you any differently. Where was I going with this? Yeah, so I just froze there for a second. The thing is, for when you want to express your opinion, this is the podcast where you can just get out off your chest. Simple as that. You have to worry about what you're going to say. Alright, so basically, that's accepted. The audience is going to be loving as well. I don't know what type of audience, I look forward to that. But this is just planned, so I'm a bit muffled about what I'm thinking of. All of this is coming to mind. Oh yeah, back to the podcast. So basically, I look forward to getting this podcast underway. I can have guests, guests. Oh yeah, that's right. I will be having guests every now and again. But I will also accepting group guests. For example, if I wanted to invite Retro Liberty, they can both come on the podcast at the same time, or just one of them. 16-bit brothers. There's 4 of them. They can all come on at one time. Those only count as one guest, however, even if they are in a group. Or they can appear as one as individual, speak to us at different times. As an example, so I will be having guests if they're in a group, that's fine. The specificalities of this podcast, right? As a retro gamer through and through, I would love anyone who does have a lot of retro gaming knowledge or passions, as much as I do. I don't know if that might be possible, which it is actually. I don't sound big-headed there because I love retro games through and through, even if ones I've not played. So I don't care how old you are, what country you're from, as long as you just want to express your opinions on gaming, you want to talk about this and that, whatever comes to mind. As the founding members will be treated each other equally and fairly, just grow to love the gaming podcast, my friends. See, as a interactive YouTuber, myself personally, like I said before, I don't care if you've got 1 sub or 10,000. So you want to join the podcast, you want to just remember you have to be a regular uploader. There are other, requirements to this podcast, but because these are just the plans coming to mind right now, I'm a bit muffled. So with all that being said, I look forward to getting my podcast underway. So all I've got to do now is just find a few members. Don't know who I'm going to pick. going to be a tough choice, this is, because there's a few things which I need basic of certain level. Someone who's a lot into the modern games, someone who's a lover of retro games, someone who's in between, and something, you know, like an all-rounder type. Like none of this all modern games lovers. You know, I need a lot of balance there between nostalgic, retro, and modern, and vintage. So there's going to be a lot of, you know, levels here of all these members. I won't have massive members in terms of, like, we won't have 10. It's not going to be that type of podcast. It's going to be quite small, but very effective. So yeah, I'm Dr. V. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope I wasn't boring you to death. I've never known anyone who got bored to death. But in any case, I mean, retro games live on, my friends. Oh, and by the way, if the podcast does get successful, I'm going to be eating all of these in your honour and to celebrate the amazing podcast begins. I've got a few names lined up for this podcast as well, so it's going to have a good title to it.